Good day and welcome to my review of the Samsung LED TV 5003 Series 5 from Samsung. This is a full HD 1080p TV with 120 clear motion rate technology, and that doesn't mean 120 hertz. It's a 60 hertz TV, but it has 120 mathematical motion rate algorithm really to allow movies which are shot at 24 frames per second to divide nicely into 125 times. So I suspect Samsung is using a 5.5 pull down for this TV, although I'm not actually sure. They don't state it anywhere. It's a 40-inch TV on the diagonal, and the dimensions are about 37 inches wide and 20.5 inches high by about 1.5 inches wide. Comes with a stand. Stand installs quite easily. Comes with a remote, and the remote powers on and off the TV. And as a computer monitor, you actually have to power off the TV yourself. It will go into sleep mode, but it will not power down like a computer monitor would. Nice bright TV, very attractive on your desktop. I think we'll move over and give you a glimpse of that right now. We'll zoom out here a little bit. And I guess you might be asking yourself, well, am I going to buy 3 computer monitors if I want a large display, or am I going to buy a TV? And you ask yourself the question about cost and about having to change your video card if you're a gamer, for instance. And that's the question I faced when I was looking at this TV. And basically this TV costs $600 in Canada at Costco, which allowed me to return it if I wanted to and I didn't like it. But if I wanted to use 3 monitors, let's say 3 27-inch monitors, might be a comparable cost or slightly more. Maybe it would be, actually might be closer to, if you're a good LED monitor at 27 inches, might be closer to about $900. And the other thing is, I didn't want any bezels on the screen, because I think this TV is roughly, let's say, 4 17 or 18-inch monitors on top of each other. But there's no bezels in front of you, so you don't have to have that nice cross pattern that you might have. And that's just annoying to me. I wanted to avoid that. The TV comes with 2 HDMI ins as you're facing the TV on the right-hand side of the monitor. If you're mounting on the wall, the VESA mounting is 200mm by 200mm. And it has also a USB input as well. And it also has component inputs as well, red, green, blue, and audio inputs. This TV does have speakers, although really the speaker functionality on any of these TVs are not that good. It sounds like crap, actually. I mean, physically you can't get good sound out of something that is a flat panel display at 1.5 inches wide. It just doesn't work. So I wouldn't even really bother with it. Get yourself a nice surround sound system or stereo system and connect up your computer to that instead of to the monitor. However, as a TV, it does come with speakers if that's your bag. The settings I wanted to show you, because I played around with that quite a bit to try and get the best resolution possible for text as a PC monitor, as well as color and resolution. So there's various things you can do with the TV, and these are my personal settings. In terms of mode, there's movie modes, custom mode, standard mode, and I just left it in standard to start, and then used backlit at 9, it goes to 10, so I toned that down a bit. The contrast is at 83, goes to 100, brightness 50, it goes to 100. Sharpness is at 33, it also goes to 100, but I find turning the sharpness too much past this, for my liking, got too sharp and too much edge and graininess. Color at 40, I turned that down from 50. I found that the color was too saturated out of the box. The tint, the green and red tints, I left as standard out of the box, didn't change anything there. In terms of the advanced setting, I turned the black tone off, dynamic contrast to low, gamma to -2, so I turned that down a bit. Color space, left it as native. There are options there, you can play around with that, but I left it native. And under the white balance options, flesh tone at 0 and edge enhancement off. Edge enhancement is like almost like a sharpness thing. I didn't really think you needed it. Other things, picture options, color tone, normal, size, well, 16:9. I think you can go to 4:3, but that's kind of pointless, I guess. Digital noise filter I left off. This is something you might use if you are having problems with movies. And movies maybe look better with noise filter on, but I find actually this adds more lag to the TV or monitor than it would with it off. So I left it off, and then from PC monitor it works fine. HDMI black level low, and that's about it for these options. Now, I would say as a PC monitor, the only real drawback, I think, and I'm sitting about 2 feet away from this on my desktop, the text in let's say, text in iTunes song list, for instance, or even a Word document, it's not quite as sharp as a 27-inch monitor. Simply, it's a size function. It is still 1080p, but compared to a 27-inch 1080p, text is not quite as sharp. And I've worked hard to get this sharp as possible, but it's very reasonable. It's pretty good and very passable for everyday use in terms of productivity applications like Word or Excel or other PowerPoint, other Office type applications. So I'd say it's not as good as a 27, but it's pretty darn close. Now, the real reason we're looking at this monitor today is to see how it plays games. Now, about games, this monitor, I couldn't detect any ghosting. I could detect no motion lag. The colors were quite nice. I'm sure you could probably get a more accurate color monitor if you're doing photo editing and stuff, but you know what, for games and for everyday use, it's not a huge factor for me. Color's nice. Yeah, no motion lag. It's really quite nice to use. So let's take a look quickly at Skyrim, and just on the lag situation. I've played some pretty fast games such as Crisis games, Deus Ex, Human Revolution, and Unreal Tournament Online, and Skyrim, and I have seen no problems with it as a gaming monitor. I don't actually know what the timing is. I think it's 8 milliseconds gray to gray timing on this, but I looked hard for that and I couldn't actually see where it was anywhere, so it's hard to say what it really is. And I think a lot of TV and monitor makers are getting away from that refresh timing because I think it's sometimes misleading. But I think 8 milliseconds is what I read somewhere, that it was gray to gray, 8 milliseconds. So let's look at Skyrim to see how this looks as a game. And I must say it does look very good. I have the HD texture pack loaded with this game, and the nice thing about this monitor at 40 inches and only a couple feet away from your head is that more or less the game looks like is life size. All the images in the game, the graphics and stuff in the game are practically life size, which makes it very nice. Things are sharp. For instance, in Skyrim here, all the vegetation and images, graphic images, are quite sharp. So I think overall this is a great monitor for gaming. I would say that perhaps it would be sharper with a 27-inch or a 30-inch that is at 2650 by 1600. Yeah, okay, it's going to be sharper than this, but this is a 1080p. So compared to a 27 1080p, it should be roughly the same sharpness, and in fact I don't know if you'd notice too much difference. So yeah, I would say this is a great monitor for gaming and desktop applications as well, with the downside a little bit that text is not quite as sharp as a 27-inch or smaller monitor, but I think perhaps it's a small sacrifice for getting that nice big screen to view games and other web-based applications and movies and YouTube videos from a distance. And in fact, you can sit across the room in your couch and look at this with a remote mouse and keyboard and have fun with it. So that's bottom line is I would recommend this as a PC monitor, with a small caveat that text is not as sharp as a computer monitor, smaller computer monitor. Cheers.